So what gave you interest in the recreation management and student affairs fields?
Recreation management, because I grew up in the hometown of the Little League World Series, and I worked there throughout high school, and I thought it would be a fun full-time job to have someday, so I went into recreation management at Penn State. But then I met a guy and moved to Butler and married that guy, so Little League was out, and I didn't have any connections with any Pittsburgh sports. And if you don't have connections in that field, you kind of don't have a job. So I decided to go back to grad school. And I chose student affairs because I didn't get a whole lot of help from my academic advisor in college. So I wanted to be able to help students so they weren't in the same boat that I was in. So I got my graduate degree in student affairs from Slippery Rock, and I graduated last May.
What were some of the biggest changes from a college environment to a high school environment?
It's amazing to see the maturity level in just 1 year, from going from high school and then your first year of college. It's just going to college makes people mature so quickly. Not that high school students aren't mature, but you can definitely see a different level, and college students realize that there's more responsibility in life.
As a secretary here, what are your main tasks?
My main responsibility is to process student transcripts for former students if they're transferring, colleges, or getting a job and they need an education verification, or for current high school seniors applying to college. Former student transcripts are usually a bit more difficult because of the filing system that was used way back when. It's amazing, but I do get requests all the time for students that graduated in the 60s and 70s, and sometimes it's hard to track down those transcripts. It can be difficult. They're not always filed under the right name. Sometimes people will give their married name and I need their maiden name, what they were here under. It can just be difficult sometimes. I was able to learn to multitask while I was at BC3. They had an Opendoor policy, so students were always just peeking their head in when you were working on something, and you had to just be able to let what you were doing go and talk to that student, because in student affairs and in this position in the guidance office, the student comes first. When they walk in and have something that they need from you, if they need to talk or whatever, you need to go to them first. So that parallel, it was an easy transition coming here.
How many transcript requests do you deal with on a daily basis?
Today I haven't done any, but my stack is definitely growing. So far this year, we keep a database just to keep track of what's been sent out, the date it's been mailed out, so if anyone asks in the future. And the database is showing almost 2,000 that have been done this year so far.
For students who are requesting these transcripts, what do you advise them to do to make it easier for you and them?
Follow the directions that are on the transcript request form. Especially recently, because students are applying for scholarships and everything seems so last minute. It's getting to be the end of the school year, it's nice out, you forget things, there's been PSSA testing, and we tell students that it takes 5 to 7 school days to get a request made, and that doesn't always happen. We have students coming in, oh, well, I forgot about the deadline, I need this tomorrow. So I try my best to be able to get those out as quickly as I can, because I know deadlines can be tricky sometimes. Most of them are electronic. We do have paper records here and in the central administration office, just as a backup, because the electronic stuff doesn't always work. Power goes out or you lose a disc, something like that.
You said you were interested in softball at a very young age. What kept you going in that?
The competition. I love competing with people, and not only winning, but knowing that I gave it my best. And it was always fun. I have a twin sister, so we would always compete against each other, and it pushed us to do better, and it was fun to do that together. I am on a church slow pitch league right now, and our season's actually starting in 2 weeks, and that'll be like twice a week and run until July. We just completed 2 scrimmages, the 2 that we're allowed to have every year, and the girls looked really well. Their hitting was good. Yesterday we had one girl hit a home run over the fence, so we're crushing the ball, which is a good thing, and the defense is looking really well too. So I'm excited to see what the other competition's going to be like, and I'm confident that we're going to do well this year.